So your About page, you probably already know that it's a very important page on your website. And in fact, I believe it's the second most important page on your entire website because especially as a service provider, a coach, a consultant, an advisor of some kind, that's where you establish the deepest connection with your prospects, with your clients. And that's why it's so important. And if you look at studies, they often say that people spend 3 to 5 times more time on an About page than any other page on a website. Why? Because people are trying to decide whether they can like you, they can trust you, you have the experience they have that is necessary to solve their problems. But a question came up recently, which is, how much personal information should I put on my About page? Should I put any? And my answer to that is, you definitely should. You don't have to put much, but it can really make your About page even better than it already is. More about that in just a moment. So it's really important to understand that most people don't buy from you on the first visit. They're browsing around, they're doing their due diligence, they're trying to find out what you do, if you're good enough to handle their problems or their situation, if they think they can work with you and like you and get along with you and collaborate well with you. That's all very important. But the place where they really feel that they're going to understand that is your About page. And that's why, to me, it's so important. It can be the closer, and more often than not, it is. So what you want to do, of course, is you want to talk about the problems that you solve for your ideal clients, how you do that, why you're so passionate about that in the first place, because that really resonates with people when they feel that you're very committed to your cause, to their problems, to solving their problems. But what about personal information? Should you include it? And I always tell my clients, absolutely. Now, you don't have to put that much in there, but what you do is you put enough to really create a very well-rounded, very deep, very rich picture of yourself as a human being or a group of human beings. So here are just a few things that you can put in that personal section. Mine is at the bottom of my website, and I'm always surprised at how often people read that because it's a slightly long list. Maybe I should shorten it. But in any case, I do have a list of things about me that are pretty much outside of business, like where I was born, how I was raised, how many languages I speak, the fact that I'm married to a Norwegian with a funny accent, that I had a dog that I loved dearly. Other things that you can add there if you want are things like your hobbies or volunteer work that you do in your free time, or the travels that you've done over time. These kinds of things, while they might not seem incredibly important, create just a richer picture of who you are. And they also do create connection, because sometimes someone will say, "Oh, you speak Japanese? So do I." And immediately people connect that way. So when you add these personal things, they just they give people a much deeper understanding of who you are and whether they can like you and collaborate with you. And those things are really important, especially as service providers. So it's up to you how much you want to put in there or how little you want to put in there. But I say you can't really go wrong with it. So use your best judgment. You can always edit your page over time, add more, take out more, but don't be afraid to put in personal information. Now, someone then asked me, what about private stuff, where I'm a very private person? Well, private versus personal is, to me, a big thing. Private just means things that you don't want people to know about you. And so don't put them up there. Your hobbies and your volunteer work is not necessarily private. It's personal. Those are personal decisions, to me at least. But anything you really don't want people to know, just don't put up there, okay? And if you don't think it's relevant, don't put it up there, all right? It's up to you. It's your website. It's your About page. But you really have to think mostly in terms of who's reading it and what might be interesting to them and what might be important to them. All right, well, I hope that was helpful to you. And if you'd like to work with me on your website project, by all means, let me know. Just go to my website, maripfeiffer.com, sign up for a web clarity call. We'll talk for about half an hour to 45 minutes. It's free, no strings attached, seriously. We'll talk about where you are, what's working for you, what isn't, and then I'll give you the next step that you need to take in order to have a website and an About page that really work for you, that help you and your business grow. Thanks again for watching. I hope that if you like this video, you'll give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notifications bell so that you know when my newest video has been uploaded. Take care, and I'll see you soon.